Assalamu alaikum, dear friends, how are you? We often listen one thing, these two, three words. Don't take it personally. You have taken it personally. Taking personally is not good. Don't be that much personal. That is what we do listen quite often. But overwhelming majority of the people, they do have a clue about what it means, but they are not exactly aware of either it has been taken personally or not, because that is something a bit more technical, a bit more deep, and a bit more delicate as well. Today, we are going to talk about what is exactly meant by taking the things, be taking something, taking the words, the opinions, and the action of somebody personally. What is the sign and the symbol of it? So that is the topic of today's discussion. Also, it is very important to understand what is the impact of taking the things personally. And there are five symptoms. If at all any of the symptoms does arise, you know, in response to somebody's opinion or words, in response to somebody's action, it does mean that we have taken something else for something personally. What are these things, by the way? What are these five symptoms of it? Assume others' behavior if is about you rather than about them. When we think that whatever somebody has said, whatever somebody has done, it's about me, it has nothing to do with them. So it's not their own psyche, it's not their own attitude, it's not their fault at all, if at all they have done it. Rather, it is whatever they said or did, it is it is what they mean, and it is what is maybe justified. So in this way, I think we have taken it personally, and we shouldn't be doing it, because if at all somebody is arrogant with you, if at all somebody is abusive with you, if at all somebody does not respect you, if at all does somebody does not care about your boundaries, it tells a lot about those people. So it shouldn't be taken personally at all. Excuse me. Number two, it is feel offended, hurt, or defensive when someone criticizes or disagrees with you. If at all your opinion is different than that of mine, if at all you criticize me, if at all somebody does criticize you, it shouldn't be taken personally at all. We don't need to become defensive at all, because if at all somebody does not like the color of my shirt, if at all somebody does not like my shoes, the brand or the generic product which I am using, if at all somebody disagrees with me on a certain political matter, on certain other current affair issues, I think it shouldn't be taken personally at all. I don't need to take it offended. I don't need to be offended at all, because everybody is as different as these thumb impressions. Everything else is so much. Everybody have got a very different personality. Everybody have got their own mind, their own unique character, their own unique preferences, their own taste. I think that shouldn't be overwhelming of the thing. These are personal, and it shouldn't be taken at all. Somebody disagrees, no problem at all. So the second is feel offended or defensive when someone criticizes you or disagrees with you. I don't need to become defensive. Don't need to become defensive. I simply need to acknowledge that, okay, your opinion is different than that of mine here on this issue. So there is nothing wrong. Okay, we can have a dialogue, but even if after the dialogue we don't agree, none of us is at fault. These are the two different opinions. Now, the third symptom of taking the things personally. take others' opinions or feedback as a personal judgment of your character, ability, or identity, my character, my abilities. I think if at all somebody has opined differently, if at all somebody has given a different sort of feedback, even if at all somebody has criticized me, no problem at all. My character, my ability, my identity, it has to do with me and not with anyone else at all. So my dear friends and fellows, I think that is, we don't need to be feel offended at all. Number four, feel responsible for others' emotions or reactions. If at all my word, if at all my action is a reasonable one, despite all that, somebody has given a kind of negative reaction. If at all they say that they felt offended, they say that they are hurt, I think I don't need to take it personally at all, but simply I need to pay attention to my words, my opinions, my actions, my remarks, so my attitude, my behavior, even if at all a reasonable attitude and behavior, a reasonable opinion and reasonable words have attracted a negative response from somebody. Somebody says they are hurt. I think I don't need to take it personally at all. Now the fifth and the last is get emotionally invested in what others think or say about you. Get emotionally invested in what others think or say about me. No worry at all. Because if at all they think or they say something else, their opinion is something else, I think I don't need to become emotional. But okay, it is good to revisit, it is good to reconsider, it is nice to reevaluate whatever I say, whatever I do, what are my actions, what are my behavior and attitude, what is my opinion on different matters. Reflection, it is always good. And these are the five symptoms. Let's have a very quick revision, very quick revision about all of these five things. That is, assume others' behavior is about you, or rather about them. The second, feel offended or hurt or defensive when someone criticizes or disagree with you. Number three, take others' opinion or feedback as a personal judgment of your character, of your abilities, of your identity. Number four, feel responsible for others' emotions or reactions. Number five, get emotionally invested in what others think or say about you. So these are the five symptoms of taking something or somebody's opinion or someone else's action as a personally, that we shouldn't. What are the negative effect of this? What is the negative effect of taking the things personally? First of all, it does create an emotional emotional turmoil, emotional upheaval. We are not normal emotionally. We don't stay emotionally intelligent. So that is, the emotional turmoil does occur when we have taken something else personally. Number two, it is defensiveness. We become defensive. We start defending ourselves. Although in at most of the occasion, the best response from us is to stay silent. I stay at most of the occasions, not all of the occasions, but at most of the occasions. The best response is to stay silent and to ignore, but rather pay a little bit of attention. And if at all something else can be taken positive, useful, or beneficial, then it's okay, and take that all. So the first is emotional turmoil. The second negative impact is defensiveness. The third negative impact is hurt feeling. We often stay hurt. We often feel like I am offended, I feel hurt. So that is the negative impact. The fourth is, that is strained relationships, unhappy relationships, lack of warmth, lack of understanding because of the strained relationships, since we have taken something else personally. Now the fifth is difficulty receiving feedback or constructive criticism, difficulty receiving feedback or constructive feedback, that's another loss. Now remember that not everything is about you. Practicing self awareness, we need to practice self awareness. What is this self awareness? That is what analysis, what are my strengths and what are the possible opportunities I may get because of my strength. I need to consolidate, I need to retain, I need to consolidate, I need to develop my strength, and I need to stay on lookout for the possible opportunities. Number two, what are my weaknesses and what kind of threats I may come because as a result of these weaknesses. Here I need to here I need to understand that how can I minimize, how can I reduce my weaknesses, how can I weaken my weaknesses, and how can I reduce or minimize the negative impact because of these weaknesses of mine. We need to know about our passions, we need to know about our prejudices, our biases, we need to know about our priorities. So all of that is called self awareness. We need to become more and more aware about ourselves, and it is much more important than anything else to be self aware. Now the second precaution is, the second very good tip is that to set boundaries. Setting boundaries, what is setting boundaries? Because setting boundaries, that protect us, that is for the purpose of protecting us. So we need to set boundaries. Rules and regulations are very important for setting boundaries. So that is, I think, best behavior. Now the third thing which we need to adopt is, that is adopting the growth mindset. The growth mindset says that there is an opportunity in every sort of situation, no matter how bad somebody is, no matter what kind, even if at all you are in the jungle or in the total wilderness, there are certain opportunities available there over there as well. I don't say that we need to prefer it, I don't say it at all, but supposedly if at all we are at a difficult, uncomfortable situation, still there is an opportunity, I think. And I don't need to delve into the detail of all that, but there are certain opportunities available over there as well. So that is all about, our today's topic. Why not to take the things personally, and what is meant by taking the things personally. Thank you very much.